Okay, we are live. Welcome everybody to the Maverix Lifestyles Rogue Hangout. It's Alicia Drew here, and I'm joined by John Paul Argentino to my right, and Chris Brindamore down there is one of our awesome panelists, if you can see him. Sometimes on these Hangouts, when there's only two Hangout boxes, you can't actually see the person in the box. So let's bring him on the screen so you can see him. Hey, there he is. Nice. In his red shirt. On the screen, it actually looks pink or magenta, or I don't know how to describe it, but I think it's pretty cool. And I've got the pink today, so it's all good.
John, you got to go change your shirt.
I got one.
Yeah. Yeah, he does. He does have a pink shirt.
Like I said, it's salmon, though. It's not pink.
Oh, yes, yes. Yeah, I love it when the males can wear shades of pink. It's cool. Anyway, back to today's topic. Today's topic is, are you running 2015, or is 2015 running you? And we've got some interesting stuff to share with everybody today. And Chris will actually be sharing most of it, as our community, we've just had an event, a massive event in Nashville, Tennessee. And Chris was very fortunate to be down in Nashville. And every time we have an event, it's always a phenomenal transformational experience. And this event in particular, from what we've heard, there are some massive, amazing, mind-blowing changes that are going to be happening very, very soon. And we're really pumped about all these changes that are going to take place, that we wanted to give you guys a sneak peek of what those actually were. Whether you're in our community and you weren't at the event, or you were at the event, or if you're even looking at our community and wondering what it is and what's going on, you might have heard a little bit of a buzz around. Today, we're just going to be having a chat about that. And, you know, we always want to be sure that we're open to change. I know a lot of people in their businesses are not really open to change. They want to keep things the way that they are, especially if they're part of a community where they can't really control what those changes are. And we always have to keep an open mind and, you know, look forward to the future. And especially within our community, our founder, David Wood, always has our best interests at heart. He actually runs this company with his heart and soul. And it's not about, you know, a lot of companies run their companies and it's all about the money. But it's not like that here. And everything that's done within our company is always, you know, in the best interests of its affiliates and its customers and the community here. So with that being said, I think I'll bring Chris out and he can start sharing with us a few of the, you know, we're not going to give too much away today. A few of the changes and the alterations and things that are going to be taking place that are going to help you in your business that you currently have, or if you're considering joining our community or enhancing the business that you've already got. So, Chris, if you want to take it away.
Thanks, Alicia. John. Yeah, there was just so much, and I'm going through my notes trying to make sure I don't forget everything because there was so many new things that came out. But so Dave Wood right now is on a mission to create 100 millionaires a year. So he's constantly looking at ways where he can make that happen. And there was a lot of new announcements that came out, a lot of them that's going to help. It's going to be helping a lot of people to create some significant incomes. And again, I don't know if you mentioned, Alicia, but I think we have an income disclaimer down below in case they start talking about money here. Our results are not typical because we're not typical. But, yeah, he released a ton of new stuff. And I'm trying to remember, it was maybe a year and a half ago, they hired a new CMO and a whole marketing team. And they've been hard at work with a lot of stuff behind the scenes. A lot of it I didn't even know that they were even working on. So some of the things that they're doing, one of the things that Dave Wood thought was that our funnel was missing some heart. We got this new Truth or Hype funnel. But he thought he was missing some of the heart that we used to have, especially when the company first started up. So they actually recorded a brand new funnel. I'm not going to release any of the secrets of it, but they recorded it while we were at the event. So I'm not sure when. I think that's going to be coming out sometime later on this month. So keep your eye out for that. That's going to be pretty cool. So he's more heart. He wanted to get the heart of the company in there. That's something that David has a lot of, his heart. And he just wants to try to relate that to everybody, that the company has heart. I mean, I don't know that any other company leaders that care about their people as much as David Wood does. He created the company to help people rather than trying to keep all the profits for himself.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a new funnel coming out. They also redid the whole Level Up training series. They reshot that as part of the Sunday All-In VIP event. So that's going to be coming out again, I think, later this month. They also announced, I had no idea that this was even coming, so we now have a Kalatu Premium. So the Kalatu Premium, I'm trying to remember everything that is going to be included with that, but I know it's going to be, you're going to have 10 blogs. They're going to have additional themes, even more than I think what you just saw in the back office. They're going to have special themes just for Kalatu Premium. And I think included with that, they said the video hosting. I think there was something else, too, that's going to be a part of that. So there's a lot of things that are going to package into that. And that is going to be more designed where we can market that to small businesses. And they're actually going to have a new funnel that's non-affiliate related, so we can market just the blog to small businesses. So that's something cool where, it's another avenue where you can make some money locally, maybe with some local businesses. So
yeah, that's really, really awesome and really powerful that they're bringing that out.
I think that scares some people away is, hey, I love your blog, but I really don't want to be an affiliate. This will give people an opportunity. If they want the blog only, they can get just the blog. One of the tips they actually threw out there, even the basic blog platform now, you got 3 blogs. And one thing they suggested everybody do is take one of those blogs and do like local business reviews. You can do it in your own community, do reviews of local businesses, do a little write-up about them, and then they're going to see that, they could get some exposure on a blog and maybe they become a customer. But it's a great way where you can promote some local businesses and also promote your own business at the same time.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, on that, I'm really glad that they're going to be bringing out that, is it a new funnel for the business owners, a brand new whole funnel?
Yeah, there'll be a whole new funnel that's non-affiliate related. So if somebody just wants the blog, they don't have to buy the affiliate side of things. If they want to promote something else on their blog, they can. So that's kind of nice because we could actually use that we could use that for other MLM companies too. Yeah. Out there, we could market a blog to them, and they don't have to become affiliates if they don't want to.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, our blog right now is fully customizable already. You can actually switch off all the Empower Network branding, and I know that sometimes is a concern for people when they first sign up to Kalatu. They think that they're signing up to an Empower Network blog. I mean, technically, they will have an Empower Network back office and account, but they can customize that to whatever business they're already in or whatever products and services they already have. But now with the release of, well, it's not being released yet, with this new business owners funnel and blog set up, that will be amazing because it takes the whole affiliate side of it out of it.
Yeah, I noticed too that in the Kalatu back office now, what they have is in the 3 domains that you can set up, you can either do domain mapping where you're actually taking your domain and actually basically just redirecting it over in using the platform as your own, like totally as your own. But you can also use, I saw now that they have instead of the buildingabrandonline.com is the parent domain, they have blogforbusinessonline.com, bloggingnetworkonline.com, and bloggingrealestateonline.com as well. So now there's 4 domains that they're basically building a lot of link popularity throughout and a lot of SEO juice in there for fledgling businesses or anybody that doesn't have that stuff or that kind of content already there, that they can kind of piggyback off of some of that great branding that's already been done as well.
Wow, yeah, that's really powerful, especially.
Those are all they're all going to be seasoned domains.
Exactly.
So if somebody was to start a brand new business, you're going to buy a domain name. It's not going to be seasoned yet, so you're going to have a hard time ranking on Google because they're not going to see you as a authority site because you haven't been around very long. Here, you're going to have a seasoned domain that's already out there, so you can rank almost immediately, which will be good.
Yeah,
So that's pretty cool.
Amazing. I mean, it's really cool that you can have 3 domains, but with the premium Kalatu membership, you mentioned it's actually 10 domains.
Right. 10. You can have up to 10 blogs.
Wow. Then that's 10 blogs. I mean, I don't know anybody that could manage 10 blogs. I'm sure there are plenty of people that can, especially couples and, you know, business owners that have their own teams and things like that. And you want to get into different niches. I think that would be great as well. I mean, you know, it's just a lot of different variety and options for people. That's what I love.
You could probably offer one of them up to a client, you know, and maybe sell it with a monthly fee on it to somebody. Maybe you're not doing it, but they are, type of thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a lot of options there with the 10 blogs. There's so much you could do with it.
Yeah.
I'm interested too to see if there's going to be any like content writing agencies actually come on board to actually use all of them like that and actually use it for somebody else's benefit for like their customer or anything. I don't think anybody's thought about doing it yet, but I'm kind of interested to see if someone does.
Yeah, I mean, that opens up so many possibilities.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like think of how many realtors out there. They all have their own blog. There's how many realtors are there? I mean, it's I mean, you guys have your own WordPress blog. If somebody wasn't very computer savvy, you think they could set that up on their own?
Yeah.
Well, the way that I set up my personalized WordPress blog, a new person could do it. I'm not saying that they couldn't, but the way that I set it up, I already had almost 2 years experience online.
Right.
When I was setting that up, and I still spent a ton of time setting that up. So for the brand new person, I think they'd probably tear their hair out at some point. That's why Kalatu is so great.
It's already pretty much, you can have it up and running within an hour.
Yep, definitely.
For sure.
Wow.
Especially with the built-in kind of blog writing template, our 21-day blogging challenge. You can have. Oh, it's really, I mean, I did one live for you guys, right? It took maybe 15 minutes to do a blog post. It's pretty easy to do. It's pre-formatted. You can run through it pretty quick. So that was the product end of things. I think they're going to continue to evolve and come out with stuff. Probably the biggest thing they talk about, at least for us affiliates, they're going to have new recognition ranks. And these names could change, but at the event, so you do 5 basic sales in a month, you're going to be called a boss. And again, this term may change. So you're going to become recognized as a boss. And then, and I don't think there's any bonuses or anything that come with that other than you get recognized as a boss. And then if you help somebody else in your team make 5 sales, and then you become a boss maker. So you go from boss to boss maker. Did you guys get a survey on that? Or they might have just surveyed people that were at the event.
I'm not sure. I think it
might have been just the attendees they asked. So they sent a survey out asking what we thought of the names, and they had a bunch of options. So they may come out with another name, just like Kalatu. I think when they were coming out with that, I think originally they were calling ENV3, weren't they? And then they finally came up with the name Kalatu.
Mm-hmm.
So those are 2 things. And then I think the biggest thing he came out with, though, is so there's 3 additional levels. There's going to be gold, platinum, and diamond. So a gold would be once you reach that $10,000 a month level, an additional bonus is going to kick in. And I don't quite understand. I didn't quite understand everything David was talking about. But I think what he said was there's a $10 override, and I think it's per affiliate. So it's the entire team. So right now, the way our commissions are structured, you get paid on the 1st, 3rd, 5th, and then every 5th sale. So you could have some huge organization under one of those non-pass-up legs, and you could be helping building that team and get absolutely no commissions off of it. the way our commissions are currently structured. I think they were talking about Aaron Rashkin, like he's got Silvio, he's got a huge organization in Puerto Rico, not Puerto Rico, Portugal. You know, one of those guys could be in his downline, but he may not be making any commissions off because they're not in one of those.
They're on one of the legs, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the way it's going to be now is once you hit that level, that bonus kicks in. Everybody in the downline, you get an override on every single person. So there's going to be a lot of people who's commissions.
I just want to make sure that I hear it. I just want to make sure I get it right. So it's, you know, everybody that you have essentially signed up, and whether it's a pass up, like a direct member, or a pass up sale.
If they've personally come in
from you, then you can earn an override on that once you actually qualify for that. That's actually huge.
The entire team below them.
And the entire team below them.
So you could have like a lot of guys were talking about like I guess a good example was when I got in underneath Vic. All right, directly underneath David Wood. There was somebody in between them. So David Wood was making 0 commissions from Vic, and he built a huge organization, right? David Wood got nothing from Vic. Under this arrangement, he would have got paid on everybody that Vic brought into the business, including everybody below him. So there'd be an override. So that starts at once you hit that $10,000 a month level. He talked about a Gen 1 and a Gen 2 bonus. I'm not quite sure what that is. I'm sure he'll get into more details on it. But basically, you get paid on the entire organization. Then when you hit that, so that's the gold level. At platinum, when you hit $20,000 a month, an additional bonus on top of that one kicks in.
Well, hell,
so he's almost thinking that when you hit 10, just from the bonuses you're going to get from hitting the 10, you may automatically go up to 20.
Yeah,
that's
I was just thinking that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, wait a minute. Like, if you're at 10, what's going to happen is it's going to kick you right up there.
Yeah, he said he's thinking, you know, especially if you got a huge organization, you could be right up at that $20,000 a month level right away just from that bonus.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And then there's another one at 30. So 30, I think, is a little less of an override, but still. So, you know, he's figuring we're going to see a lot of people making their incomes increasing significantly once these bonuses start kicking in. And he said it really kind of discouraged a lot of professional MLMers because they're used to getting override on the entire organization, and now they're going to be able to do that. So a lot of these guys are used to coming in and building that, they call it a tap route, where they build this organization way down, and they get a bonus, you know, they get a benefit from that. Right now, if you were to do that in our organization, you're not guaranteed that you're going to get paid on all that work. But now you will be able to. So he's encouraging building depth by doing this.
Yeah, definitely. Wow.
So this is going to really change, I think, our organization. You're going to see a lot more. Well, it's going to help create those $1 million earners.
I think what's good, I think what's actually genuinely really good about this model now is it's going out to basically incentivize every person that's enrolling anybody or every active affiliate to really have a more communal aspect to their business to really help genuinely everybody. Because at that point, there's been times where, you know, sponsors have been incentivized only to work with people that are directly in their downline, not pass up sales, nothing like that. They still, you know, they start segregating down into one group because they have invested monetary or money into it as well. And that's the way some people operated versus the other way, where, you know, it's going to be greater for everybody now, which I think is awesome.
Oh,
because
yeah.
it's gonna really open up for the benefit of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure the crowd. I'm just curious. Did the whole kind of crowd just kind of go nuts whenever they?
Oh my God!
Kind of just. I'm sure. Was there a whiteboard at all around here at this time? Like when?
I think he wrote it down. I may have even snapped some pictures. I don't remember, but
yeah, I'm sure that
the place was going bananas. I think that day I was not in the best seat. The last day, Sunday, I was like right behind the couches,
Yeah.
So I was like, "You're gonna when that video comes out, I'll definitely be on it." So because I was right facing center stage.
Yeah.
Um,
We were in a couple of the Masters course or the Mass Influence Formula videos. We're on a couple of those ones too because
Yeah,
we made sure.
row,
Yeah, we were just front
right at the
row,
front.
there and present, and the experience is a lot different. Did you notice that when you're front and center, the experience you get, the engagement level, all of a sudden you find that it's just a lot more engaging, and the people that are around you too are a lot more engaged because they want to be with their butt in that seat versus when you're in the back of the room, some of the people around you. Did you notice that the conversations that you had kind of were a little bit different at all?
yeah, there weren't any conversations going on.
Yeah, exactly. There wasn't any.
Well, the way we were right at the front of the table, so our chairs were turned around. Everybody was behind us, and there was nobody in front of us except for the couches. So we were front row center, right on the center of the stage. So it was pretty cool. So they had tables this time.
Yeah,
it's the first time they did that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think this is the first time that they've done that at one of the events.
The only other time they did that, I think, was when they had the storytelling event in Orlando. I think it was with when David Sharp was there. I think they did that a little bit.
Yeah, but actual Empower Network,
but the
main
of
events.
It,
I don't think they've
receptive.
Yeah, because they had, from the pictures I saw, there was the couches and then there was these massive round tables, and I thought,
probably 10 people per table.
Yeah, I kind of like that because it's kind of more conversational as well, instead of being in rows next to people.
You can get up. It's easy to get up if you had to get up and get a coffee or whatever, rather than trying to walk in front of a bunch of people down the end of the row. So that was
no one's butt was touching your butt on the seat next to you.
Right.
The whole butt space in the little chair thing.
Right. Yeah, you didn't have that. You had room. You could move your chair to the side if you wanted to. So it was overall the energy there was really, really high. Was really I say this every time, but I think it was probably the best event so far that I've been to. There's just so many things that came out. They did some really cool things. They brought the whole marketing team up there, and they actually introduced all the new stuff coming out. Kristen, you've probably seen her on some of the hangouts with Mars. You never see her on stage. She got up on stage and spoke.
Oh, she did? Oh, wow.
Yeah. And she actually, so they recorded for I think it's the Level Up. They're redoing the Level Up series. And she actually got up because we had to participate in part of it. She got up and coached us. So that was like the first time she had been up on stage by herself with a mic, which
that's awesome.
The genius.
Yeah, I love Kristen. She's amazing. She's the recording voice behind a lot of our videos, and she's a really cool lady. And
you don't see her very often on camera. She's usually behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's awesome that she came out like that. And tell us a little bit more about this, how you guys participated in these call to actions, because I heard about it, but I wasn't too sure exactly what went down.
Well, I think you've been through the Level Up series, right? So you have these different levels where you need to make a commitment. So the first one, I think you need to.
Viewers, really quick. Anybody that's out there, just explain to everybody what the Level Up sequence, like where they can find that information to actually go through it.
Yeah.
So you need to be an affiliate to get access to it. So it's basically our entry level training that you go through, and we completely redid it last weekend on the all-in day. So it walks you through the steps, and there's a meter on the side that goes up as you walk through the different steps and get through different commitments, and get exposed to the different products that we have available. And it walks you through setting income goals and all different kinds of things you'll walk through. So at each the videos will run so far, then you have to make what they call a micro commitment. So I think the first one you make is you need to trust the people that are on the video. Mm-hmm. So we actually, I forget, we actually had to say whatever the call to action was. So it was press the trust button or whatever it was. We all had to say it.
Wow, that's really awesome. I'm really excited to see this new, the level up sequence is essentially a sales funnel for those of you out there that are brand new. And we mentioned funnel at the very beginning. And it's basically what you see when you go to a page and you enter your email address to find out more about what it is that's in front of you. And you may see a video. It could be a lot of different things. And you go through a sequence. And that's essentially what we call a sales funnel. And the level up sequence, in my opinion, it's a masterpiece, what's being created. So I'm really excited to see what the new one, how it's going to top that. I know it will. So that's what I'm really excited about, because this particular sales funnel, as Chris mentioned, it really makes the viewer participate in the actual experience. It's fully gamified, and a lot of sales funnels are not that way. You kind of sit back in a chair and you just get led through things. But with all of the different micro commitments and things that you need to agree on through the sequence, it really gets the experience and the person involved. And that's what I love about it. Yeah. So
there's one thing with this too, that I'm just going to read one of the actual comments from the Level Up Fast Start series. And this is from video 1 in the actual Level Up series. This is from Samuel Levitz. He's, an awesome entrepreneur as well, living in Hawaii. He's a great guy to work with, good guy. But this is some interesting insight, what he says, and I'm just going to go ahead and read it here. He says, I can honestly say in all my years of being an entrepreneur, I have never felt like I was being supported in my quest to success. I was always alone on the journey. I was the one responsible for my success. I had to figure everything out on my own. It sucked. Not until coming into this crazy and awesome life-changing system, I realized that I was completely supported. Everything was laid out before me. I mean, from things like how-tos, and if you want to achieve this, then do this. What can I say? I am in awe of how we are taken by the hand and led to success. Any entrepreneur can find success with the system like I have if they follow the process. Thank you for the amazing system and community of internet entrepreneurs from all over the world. Now, that's some insight from Samuel Levitz, and there was a response back to it from Lawrence Tam. And Lawrence probably helped put together a lot of this and had a lot of influence in how this was laid out too. And he said the system and creators and the customers like us who get to help each other is what it's all about. It's a very unique community. Mm-hmm. And it truly is. So to hear that, and the comments just keep going on. I mean, they're just, well, of course it's a screenshot of an iPad. You can't really see, but it just scrolls on and on and on and on and on. It just keeps going. But it's an amazing series, what they're putting together for everybody.
Yeah, I cannot wait to see how this new one will topple what we already have. I mean,
I'll give you one hint. The current Level Up, a lot of the training is just David Wood, right? Uh-oh. You guys still there?
You're back yet? You froze for a second.
All right. So the current Level Up is a lot of David Wood, right? Mm-hmm. So they brought up all the $1 Million Ring earners, and they're all doing, each one of them did a segment. So each one of the $1 Million Ring earners is an expert at, say, one thing. So they all taught something that they are experts at and what got them to become $1 Million earners. So you're going to get a piece of a bunch of $1 Million earners in this training.
Wow.
It's going to be phenomenal. It really is.
How many of the $1 Million earners were actually at the event?
Let me think. Who was up on stage? So we had Tracy Walker, Lawrence Tam, Aaron Rashkin.
Chris.
What's that?
Chris Jones there?
Chris Jones was up there, yep. Justin and Dee, Frenzia. Am I missing anybody? I think that's everybody.
There was 6 right there, so that's a good
start. I think that's everybody that was up there.
Did Alex and Anna hit yet?
They're not there yet. They're close.
Yeah, I think there's 15 all up, isn't there? 15 million?
Yes, there's 15 altogether, including Dave and Dave.
Yeah.
So Dave was up there too, obviously.
Mm-hmm. So for those of you out there that are not familiar, once you hit $1 million in commissions within the community, you will receive the $1 Million Ring. earner status. Whether you're male or female, you will get this massive rock that sits on your fingers, and that's amazing that they've brought the $1 Million Earners together to be, to train on what they were, what they specialize in, because they all specialize in different things.
Right.
So that's going to be amazing.
Yeah, it's really, I'm excited about it. It's really going to be a game changer. Between that and they're going to redo the funnel. The sales funnel is going to be redone. The Level Up series is redone. We got all these new products, new commission levels coming out. I mean, it's basically changing the whole face, and the Power Network is changing, I think, for the better. It's just going to be amazing. One of the things I think that I heard over and over and over again at the event was, one, be yourself. Don't try to be somebody else. You see these $1 million earners and you try to emulate them. Yeah, you want to model them, but you still want to have your own personality. And I'm trying to think of the two words that I kept hearing over and over again. But definitely be yourself and focus. Focus on, pick something and focus on it was the biggest thing. There was a lot of really new people up there I never heard from before. A lot of foreign countries. The Portuguese obviously were up there quite a bit. The Germans. There was a guy there from New Zealand who's under Rhonda and Brian Swan, who actually was inspired by, for those of you who don't know Rhonda and Brian Swan, they basically have the last 5 or 6 years have traveled all over the world with their daughter. And I don't think they've been anywhere more than maybe 6 months at a time. They've just gone from place to place to place, and they just live the lifestyle that most people dream about. So this young guy, I think he's 20 or 21, was inspired. He caught a video of Brian surfing somewhere in the Caribbean. He says, I want to do that. He sent a message to Brian. He says, I want to go surfing with you. And a year later, he was. And they actually showed a video of him and Brian surfing. And this guy he's up on stage speaking. So he's actually he's a top producer. He's in the top 200 earners in the company. And he had a ton of energy. He was funny to listen to. But he was great. And he was dead broke when he started. He was broke. I think I missed him. My wife was telling me he worked for a family business, and they had something to do with sewers. And they got a call for a job one day, and they popped this manhole cover up, and it was chock full, and somebody had to go down into it to get the pump started, to get it going again. And that's when he decided that he was done doing that.
That was his rock bottom moment.
Yeah, that was his rock bottom moment. Absolutely.
I can imagine.
Yeah, there was just so much that came out of this weekend. It just tons of energy. The one thing also was you mentioned, being in business by yourself. One thing that I really love about this, and you guys are perfect examples. Even though you're in business by yourself, you're not doing it alone, because we have lots of other people that support us, whether or not we have a direct relationship with each other. You can basically reach out to the community with just about any question, and somebody will jump in and answer it for you and help you out, steer you in the right direction, no matter whether or not you're on their team or not. They don't care. Mm-hmm. So, that's one thing that I really love about the community. I haven't really seen that anywhere else, that level of community. That's awesome. I've met every event I go, I meet so many people that I never knew before. I meet people that I've met on Hangouts or something, and we never met in person. So a lot of the bloggers I met that, we've been doing these blogging syndication groups. I met a lot of them there, which was pretty cool.
Yeah. Now, you talked earlier, I want to back up a smidgen here. You talked earlier about being yourself. And I know Alicia and I were talking about this, actually, it was yesterday we were talking about this. We were actually watching, we watched some video, and it was about art. And it was about artists, how sometimes when they start, if they go to study a certain type of, or a certain artist, they start doing their work along the same lines as of that inspiration from that other artist that they were just looking at, like what they were inspired from. And they lose track of who they really are and what their message is to the world. And we thought that was really interesting because we see that a lot in our space as well, like within the realm that we're in, where everybody's kind of doing the same cookie cutter thing, but they're not challenging themselves to really be themselves and let that creativeness out. And we thought that that was really interesting about how, you know, people aren't being themselves. Mm-hmm. And they want to do this for a certain freedom of, for whatever reason, whether it's freedom of time, you know, they want just the money, things like that. So whatever it is that they're after, they start modeling other people, but they lose track of themselves in their message as well. So I think that was really key how you said, you know, be yourself in that. Don't lose track of that. Really hold that dear as you're progressing through everything. You know, whether you're a newbie or you're seasoned as well, you know, don't lose track of that original spark that you had.
Yeah, and I think sometimes people don't even realize that once they're looking so much at one particular artist or marketer or whatever it is, and they're modeling what they're doing, and sometimes I think subconsciously people don't even realize that their work is starting to look way too much like that person's work. And particularly on the show that we were watching, that was the case.
Yeah, it was on the show.
Yeah, that was the art teacher was pointing out, and the students didn't even realize that that was the case. And, you know, sometimes it takes someone to say, hey, is this really you, or is this what, you know...
Was this the last art exhibit you just saw? Was it that other inspiration of somebody else? He was like, oh, well, you just went and saw so-and-so, let me guess. And then he would go to the next person, oh, well, when was the last time you saw so-and-so? You know, and it was just ironic how it was all the same.
Yeah, and I've grown up doing art my whole life, and a couple of the students that lifted up their drawings, I could tell straight away who they were influenced by.
Wait a minute.
I was like, that's Kandinsky right there.
Why do we have a bare wall? You've done art your whole life.
They're all back home in Australia.
Like, where's this?
They're all back home in Australia. My sister has some on her wall.
I saw them.
Yeah, you know, and I could see who they were influenced by, which is great. There's nothing wrong with that. We actually have a previous hangout on the difference between copying and modeling. So anybody who wants to take a look at that, you can click the replay link below the video, and you'll be able to check that out. Because there is a big difference between copying and modeling. There's a fine line there, and I think that's where some people get a little bit lost. It's always great to model someone who has the success that you want. We will preach that all day long, but you've still got to have your own unique message in there, like who you are and what you want to bring to the world, because that's what's going to create success for you over time. Is you being you. And it sounds so simple, and for a lot of people it's not. Some people don't know who they are yet, and through the process of taking action, you can truly discover who you are along the way. But you have to not be afraid to take action and get started along the journey to find out. You know, a lot of the time people are afraid to make videos. They're afraid to do a blog post. You know, they think that they're not great on camera. They think that, you know, they're not great writers. But how do you get better at something? You actually have to do that thing to get better at it. You know, nobody became a master of something without starting. Everybody started at the very beginning, and it's always hard the first time you do something. But if you continuously take action, it gets better over time. So I think that's really awesome that you brought that up, Chris. And we've got Stephanie joining us here. How you doing? Hello, everybody. We've just been going over some, Chris has been sharing with us some amazing up-and-coming changes within our community. I'm not sure if he's got too many left to share at this point.
I was just flipping through my notes, and I missed some stuff, and I can't believe I missed one really important thing that's coming out, I think later this month, is the mobile app.
Ah, yes.
So I don't think they talked about it. I didn't really see too much on it, but the mobile app when you send, you can send. There's going to be different videos you can send people to. So I think it's going to be different. $1 million ring earners have different videos. So if you got somebody that's more of a hippie Jedi, you send them to Justin's video, you know, or depending on what their personality is, there's going to be different videos you can send them to. But the cool thing is going to be that you're going to get a notification when they've watched it and when they're done, and then you're going to have their phone number. You can call them right away and say, hey, Alicia, I just saw you watch that video. What'd you think? So you can call them immediately. You're going to know when they're through and when they're taking action steps. So that's going to be cool. And so I totally missed that. The Kalatu Premium, there was a couple things I didn't mention, but one of the big things they're going to have is they're going to have what they call 7-minute blog hacks. And I think they're going to come out with those every week. They're going to have a new hack. So one thing they noticed was, you know, when you get a new product, you got all this training, hours and hours and hours of training. But people just don't want to spend that much time training, so it's only going to be little short spurts, little 7-minute training, so you're not like spending all weekend just going through training. You can watch it and implement it right away.
Wow, that's really cool.
And they're going to come out with, so they're going to be more plugins too. They're going to have an SEO syndication plugin. And the other thing is they're going to have a new theme every month. I forgot about that. So every month they're going to come out with a new theme. So that's going to be pretty cool. So I missed that. Yeah, the marketing team came up and talked about that. So that's going to be cool. Did we talk about? So the next event actually is going to be, they call it the Rise event. It's going to be the Red Rock in Las Vegas, July 31st through August 2nd. So
good area.
Yeah, Red Rock Casino. It's a amazing venue there. It's really nice.
Right up at the base of Mount Charleston, so it's pretty close to that. So there's some cool stuff to do.
Cool.
Yeah.
They seem to be going for these better venues lately. It seems like.
Yeah, it's a high. I want to say it's a higher class type of.
Yeah.
You see a lot of real estate type of stuff. A lot of real estate conventions being held there. You'll see that a lot. So it's more on the west side of town, which is near Summerlin. It's more up that area, which is nice.
Yeah, it's very cool. So those of you out there that don't know, we lived in Vegas for many years, so we're very familiar with that area. And often people don't realize that there's more to Vegas than just the Strip. So I know we had an event a few months back that was actually at Lake Las Vegas, and that's actually one of our favorite venues in Vegas as well. And now this one's going to be in Red Rock, so it's nice to actually have people see other parts of Vegas, you know, while they're in town, which is nice. So, and for those of you out there that don't know, we have events every 90 days within our community, and they're always in different venues, which is really cool. So, yeah, I mean, did you miss anything, Chris, or is that pretty much?
I'm sure there's stuff I missed, but that's the bulk of it there. I'm sure there's a few surprises that they didn't even tell people about.
Oh yeah, those are some massive, you know, new changes and innovations taking place, and I believe it will be at the end of May that some of these will be.
You know, you can't always. David Wood, I think, works to his own clock, but I think he said that he's going to try to release it by his birthday, which I don't know if you know this or not. It's the day before our birthday. He's on the 17th.
Ah.
But
John Paul and Chris have the same birthday, May the 18th. Everybody.
Yep.
So that's awesome.
So I don't know if it's going to be out that soon, but they said definitely by like the third week of the month. I think they're planning on releasing all this.
Okay, so kind of, you know, towards the end of May, we could probably say, which isn't too far away.
No, be here before you know it.
Yep, it will. And, you know, so anybody who's watching this that is not part of our community yet, now is the time to get moving and take action and click that button below and get inside, because, you know, you're going to be on the forefront of all these absolutely amazing changes, and it's just going to be unbelievable what's happening. And it's all, you know, it's all in the interest of us affiliates here and customers. So I'm really, really excited. Stephanie, are you excited?
Of course I am. I'm just like, I want to dig in.
Awesome. I know you missed Chris sharing most of them, but I'm sure you've heard, the buzz around,
Of course.
going on. And, what do you think about what you've heard so far? Like, what are you most excited about?
Well, I've heard the buzz, and I did hear different kinds of story, but of course I wanted to hear from Chris and this gang right here because you guys are the most trusted people that I can count on. And of course, the things that I've missed, I'll definitely play back and catch up on what Chris has said. And just hearing the buzz, it just gets me excited, not just for myself or for everyone, because I think the stuff that is coming out, it's long time coming, and it's going to shift so many people in their businesses and make things so much easier. And of course, people who are coming into the industry right now, they're not going to understand it, but ones who have been in the ditches, doing all the work, we're going, yeah, finally, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's getting me excited.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that David mentioned was the reason he's implementing these tools and everything. He wants to get people profitable right away, and he's trying to gear this up so you can make your first 1,000, within your first week. Again, there's no guarantee that that's going to happen, but he's putting all these tools in place to make it as easy as possible for somebody brand new to get into profit right away. Which, in some businesses, there's so many things you need to learn. Here, it's going to be the tools are in place. Just start using them and start sharing with people and get into profit as quick as possible. That's his goal. And I got a lot of confidence in him. He's got an amazing team that he's assembled over the last couple years. The people that we have in place, I got absolute faith that they're going to come up with the best tools that we can develop. It's just amazing, and how often they've been coming out with stuff is just, David didn't like the new funnel that's only been out for, when did that come out? Like beginning of the year?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, the Truth or Hype funnel. And he wants to change it, and it's going to be in place by the end of the month. So in less than 6 months, we're going to have a brand new funnel and a bunch of new tools that I didn't even know were coming. I knew the mobile app was coming. I didn't know about the Kalatu Premium. That was brand new. I think they were keeping that a secret until the event. But yeah, it's just the team. I mean, we got an amazing team. And those guys work. It's funny. Mars was saying his team. Yeah, they only work half days, 12-hour days. There's a half a day for them.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I mean, I love Mars. I was actually fortunate to interview him a few months ago, and Mars is our CMO, our Chief Marketing Officer, and he is phenomenal. Everybody on the marketing team is phenomenal, and Jay Cron, our CEO, and Kristen and Michelle, everybody, these people have created massive results in their own, in their own right, and for many, many people they've helped. And Mars specifically, he's worked, alongside, for Dan Kennedy and Jeff Walker, some of these phenomenal marketers in our space. And really just an honor to have these people, leading the way for us. And
that's a really good interview that you did
as
well.
You guys, I don't know if you heard the story, but at Vegas, David brought one of his trainers to the event.
Yes.
And he's actually from
Italy.
I think he's from Italy. Yeah, he's from Italy. So he flew him to Vegas so he could train in between him being on stage.
Mm-hmm.
He actually got in the business after the event. He was just amazed at the energy and the people that were in the room. He wasn't even thinking about it, but after he's like, David, what's going on here? What are these people? Why are they so excited? And he's like, I got to be a part of this. He's actually blogging. I've commented on some of his blogs. He's in one of the blogging groups.
Oh wow, that's so cool. I think he's an Aussie. He has a very strong Aussie accent. I think he is. He obviously lives in Italy, but I think he is an Aussie.
Yeah, I think he is.
When I heard him speak on one of the webcasts, so that's awesome. And I mean, that just shows, you know, you don't have to sell, you know, anything. Dave Wood wasn't selling him on anything. He brought him there for a different reason, and he was just blown away. Like, what is this? You know?
I got to be a part of this.
Yeah, and I think Mars said that at one of the events as well, that he's never felt, you know, a community, you know, as passionate as we are. And coming from someone like Mars, I think that's unbelievable considering the people he's worked with. So, you know, if anyone wants to check out that interview I did with Mars, it talks a lot about the truth or hype level up sequence, even though it's about to change. But there's a lot of cool information in there. You can, you know, go to my blog, aliciadrew.com, or, you know, hit me up on Facebook or wherever, and I'll send you to it so you can check it out. But
Mars drops a lot of really good insight into the beginning stages of where he came from, which we were able to pretty much apply towards our business as well. And it's really those, how they always say success leaves clues. Well, he was dropping like golden nuggets that were like about that big, you know, that if you were like, they're great.
Yeah.
What some of the stuff he was saying, and if you can really go back through, I really suggest you go back through and watch it, and really just listen to him and start developing into it, because it's one of those things where you can ask a question sometimes and you ask the right question, but then you get so much more in response, you know. And that was one of those rare interviews that she was able to put together that was really good.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you can see that we're all real people here, and we're really, truly out here to help others and transform people's lives. And that's what I love about these changes, because a lot of companies out there, they won't change a lot of things. They'll have income disclosures from 5 years ago, and they'll have training from, you know, a few years ago that's not relevant now.
Or they'll do stuff where if things get tough within their business, they'll turn to make changes that benefit more of themselves versus benefiting everybody in the same space. And namely, their customers, their affiliates, the people that make them who they are, they make it worse for them. And it's always been the opposite, you know, with at least with Empower Network for us, is it's always been more beneficial. I mean, yes, there will be weird times where they'll catch in some weird commission type stuff if there's a changeover, like, but you know, it's part of rolling with the punches. You know, it really is serving everybody and giving back.
Yeah, that's it. You know, we have to be open to change, and especially in the online marketing space, it moves so quickly and things change so quickly. And you know, within our community, we roll with that. A lot of companies, they won't. The trainings and things will be very outdated. And it's just awesome to know that our company's on top of things, and they truly want to give us everything they possibly can to help us achieve the success that we desire. And that's what, you know, David Woods had that in his heart and soul from the very beginning. And I'm really excited about all these up and coming changes, and there's just so many. It's unbelievable. We've never had this many, I don't think, at one time. So. Yeah.
Well, after we just overhauled the blog and the funnel, and now it's all changing again, which is awesome.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, we're in the technology business, so technology business things change by the month, not by the year. So you got to stay ahead of the curve. So either moving forward or you're going backwards, right? So we're definitely moving forward and adapting and making changes. I mean, it's amazing what the team that we have behind us.
Did they talk at all about mobile responsiveness for anything with like what's going on with Google lately? As far as did they do any technical stuff as far as anybody talking about that at the event? I know that the end of April, Google started rolling out where they're going through and they're basically indexing every single site that's on the planet. That's their big mission right now, so that it's mobile friendly. I just wondered if they had talked about that at all with anything. And right now, too, if you don't have a blog or a website at all or anything, all the Kalatu websites are mobile friendly. They're mobile ready as well, so they're already set up for that. So
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about getting a Google slap on anything because it's already optimized for that.
And for those of you that, mobile friendly, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, but that just means that,
It's
you
friends
know,
with your phone.
that's it. It's
Yeah.
friendly. A page that you bring up on your laptop, you can bring it up on your phone, and it looks the same. It doesn't look all out of whack, and the pictures and the images, the text is all over the place. It's formatted for the phone because so many people are looking at things on mobile these days. So that's really, really important to have mobile-friendly pages. So that's cool that Google's doing that.
Yeah, they're
Somebody,
considered.
I don't know if it was at the event or not, but somebody was showing an easy way to check is if you grab one of your windows on your computer and shrink it down, if it changes the site and you can still read it, then it's mobile ready.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was Lawrence Tam or somebody who brought it up and they did a demo and they showed that, even though we shrunk the window size down, it adapted the site to the screen size. So that's, there's so many different mobile apps mobile devices out there now. You got an iPhone and Androids and iPads and everything else where your site needs to be able to adapt to all those devices.
Yeah, definitely. It's really important these days. And there was actually a resource that Rob, who's part of the marketing team, he referred us to. And I think I'm looking it up now just so I could let everybody know. I'm not sure if everybody got that way back. It was a few months ago. Here it is. It's quirktools.com/screenfly. And if you go to that and you put the link to the website in, you can see all the different formats that site, it'll show you, different size laptops, tablets, mobile devices. So we've been doing that for a while now when we've created capture pages and things. You just go to quirktools.com and it's you can click on Screenfly or it's /Screenfly. And you can see how your page looks on all the different devices, which is really, really cool. It's a free tool, so just thought I'd mention that for anyone out there that wants to.
Hey, Alicia, can you put that in the comments down below?
Yes, that's a good idea. I will do that. Definitely, I will do that. Awesome. Well, I think we're pretty much done for today. I mean, that's a lot of changes, a lot of things to think about, and we're really looking forward to moving forward with all of these towards the end of the May when they finally come out. And I mean, does anyone have any final thoughts before we close out? Stephanie?
Oh, okay. Well,
Looks like you do.
Yeah.
as we were talking about this, I couldn't stop but think about good old Jim Rohn's comment, when everybody is zigging, we go zagging. And of course, we live in a market where everything is loud, everybody is talking, and everything is confusing, right? And what is the best way for us to stand out? What is the best way for us to share our value, attract people, and attract trust, right? So I was thinking, how when we are in certain different groups, we always talk about it's like ripping a Band-Aid. You just take it and go, and then whenever I would hear things like that, I would go, ow, that would hurt. I mean, depending on where the Band-Aid is and where the sensitivity of the skin is, that hurts. I mean, people say it's just like ripping a Band-Aid, but it depends. So people who are like givers, they've already had the experience of the pain and the frustration. So they're able to lubricate the problem to make it easier for the rest of the people to kind of ease into the marketing. So I guess where Dave Wood's heart and the way our primary company heart is, we've been to the ditches, we've been to the struggles. We don't want to have our new clients or have our new members go through the same thing. So instead of like telling people it's like Band-Aid, just rip it off, we're going to say, okay, we're providing these tools for the next generation so we can all leverage it, use it together, and basically create new kinds of legacy for all the home-based business or whatever business you're in. Okay? So I thought that was a great thinking process to share with you guys.
Oh yeah, I love the Band-Aid analogy. That's cool. Oh, I love that. I mean, yeah, I think Chris, you've shared so much with us today, and our viewers, especially those that aren't involved in the community yet. You guys have just gotten massive, value here with all of these upcoming changes, and there's really nothing left now but to get involved and hit that button below. Yeah, we want to thank Chris for sharing all that info with us. It's really awesome.
Well, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks again, Chris. A lot of this, I reflect. I've just been reflecting back a lot of it, and the main thing that my takeaway from every event that I've pretty much been to is it always reignites the original spark I had on why I got into this space, why I got into being an entrepreneur, and I don't ever want to lose focus on that too, because I remember, the first sale I ever made, and that feeling still to me is more special to me than the days that we had, a $1,600 day. That first feeling was just proof to me that it works, and number one, and number two, that it works for me. And I know that it can really work for anybody else out there, because all I did at the beginning was I went through the system and I just plugged in and I did what it was said to do, and then I was making that first sale. And that feeling though, I had an ear-to-ear grin. I mean, I was just chipmunk cheeked up. I can't ever smile as probably as big as I smiled that day, but that feeling never gets old. I can tell you where I was at, I can tell you the whole everything. It was about 1:45 in the morning. I was laying out across my hallway because I was kind of like laid down on the carpet, kind of just stretched out, feet halfway in the hallway and halfway into my living room, and Alicia was over in our dining room, and I remember just getting that congratulations, you've just earned a $25 commission. And I just jumped right up because I was feeling kind of defeated, I'll be honest. I was kind of like at the point where I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to do this. And I put all this time and effort into it, like a big, long, like 10-hour day after I already worked. It was really late, and I just remember feeling exhausted. And then about an hour after I placed an ad, I got that notification, and I was like, oh man. And then about 10 minutes later, I got another one that said, congratulations, you just made a $100 commission. And I was, already elated, but I was like, I just knew at that point that, yes, there was a better way to do things, and I had some freedom back in my life. And I know that anybody else out there can have that as well, but you really have to do the same thing I did. And I clicked the button below the video on a page just very similar to this, and I got started, and I plugged into a system, and I did what it said to do. I didn't ask a million questions. I just went to work on doing it. Yes, I hit snags sometimes, but I just kept going. I kept asking the right questions. I surrounded myself with people, like the panel that you see down below, and here I am today. It's something where I've never looked back, and that feeling, you can have that same feeling too, and I really hope that you have that feeling, because, like what Chris was talking about, there was a gentleman from New Zealand who was dead broke, but he, did what it took to get in and plugged into a system. He did what it said, and there he is surfing with Brian Swan, on the beaches with him as well. So he set out to do everything, set that intention, and then he owned it. He went out and just tackled it with everything that he had, and that's what you got to do. Mm-hmm. So I just, and hopefully, I invite you guys to. I'll see you guys next week as well. We'll be on next Sunday as well. But I really want to say thank you guys for coming out, and we will see you next week. Click the button below, and then we'll see you on the other side.